You guys can't hear me. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Lore Reloaded. I scared the living heck out of my cat who didn't know I was going live. Hey, don't forget to check me out at twitch.tv/Lore Reloaded, where I like to do some of my famous editing, or going to twitter.com/Lore Reloaded so we can talk about whatever it is you lovely people want to discuss. Tonight, I'm not completely sure what we're going to get into, or what we're going to be breaking down. I figured I'd try to do like an all skate of sorts. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I don't necessarily care. Generally, when I do these, it doesn't go that well. I always have to have a topic, and it has to be an interesting topic, or no one shows up. So I'm putting it on you this time to come up with said interesting topic. If you're watching this, you might notice that Super Chats are in fact down for the second. They are going to be down for a couple of weeks, but you can in fact still do something similar to Super Chats, kind of like tipping is what it's called. I forgot to put that in the description. Luckily enough, I have gotten it working, so if you guys do opt to do the tipping system, it will say quite loudly and distinctly what you tell it to say, unless you put something like gross there. Then nobody's going to hear it. Nobody, because you guys are absolutely sickening. Doing this because of COVID-19 and all that stuff, advertisers pulling out, blah, 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 blah. Here, I'll do help the stream. You can also become a member by hitting that join button, and works similar to Patreon. If you refresh the screen, you can check in the description below. Don't know how I always forget that. Thanks so much, Pad, for becoming a member of the Lore Reloaded. Always appreciate it. And my youngest is up behind me. How about the sad life story of Zial? What's up, girl?
Daddy, I want to say something.
Well, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you like eating?
Yes.
And would you like me to be able to feed you?
Yes.
So would you like the people to like tip and go into the description below so that I can buy you food?
Yes, and money.
And money. What else would you like to say? What were you going to say?
Always videos coming up soon. So yay.
Yay. All right. Love you.
That's what
All right. Go play. The Court-Martial of Kathryn Janeway, breaking down how you picture the Court-Martial and eventual choice to promote her instead of publicly flogging her. So, discussing... Threshold's awful. What am I talking about? Kathryn Janeway. So, I've had a theory on this. Well, my work loves you, Tony. I've had a theory on this when it comes to Kathryn Janeway and why she wasn't so... why she wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Why she wasn't court-martialed. You guys rock. Thank you so much for sponsoring the channel. It's a part of Patreon. You get the same advantages of Patreon, so I really appreciate it. So, the reason why Kathryn Janeway was not court-martialed. I think that if you look at when it occurred and what was going on, within the Federation, the Dominion War had just ended, and thank you so much, Victor. Always appreciate it, guys. And the English Gent and Robert. By the way, guys, you can actually fund projects just like on Patreon.
Anonymous tipped $7.15. Your thoughts on Threshold?
God, I really have got to start bringing in my kid more. Thank you so much. By the way, you can specifically fan fund different projects, anything from like Shane Dawson's makeup to Ghostbusters or anything like that. Just send me an email, james@lorereloaded.com, to let me know what you want, or put it in the chat, or just let me know somehow and I'll put it towards that. Kathryn Janeway. So when you look at Voyager was really the quintessential dream that everyone was looking for. It was the original, not the original, but it was really the story everyone needed. This ship got lost. They thought everyone on Voyager had been destroyed. They didn't know what happened. It was another horrific story. Then they find out that the ship not only wasn't destroyed, but was flung across the galaxy, and they were making their way back. They became heroes of a sort. Not only that, they weren't a part of the war. They weren't impacted by the Dominion. They were exploring. They had gone where no man had gone before. And so now they're bringing back all of this interesting technology. This is a feel-good story. After the Dominion had finally been defeated, this, hundreds of thousands to millions of people dead, the Federation, Starfleet, all changed almost irrevocably, right? And so now Voyager returns, and so it was the little ship that could, the ship that explored new places. And so politically, I just don't think I think they had every right to court-martial her, if not put her in a prison for some of the things that she did. I just don't think the public would have allowed that. I don't think there would have been any political will. So I really, I think that she probably got lucky, being relative, that everything bad happened that did, and that her ship survived. And I think that's why she was not court-martialed. I don't even think they would have put her on trial, to be quite honest. I don't think that they would have been willing to have the backlash there. For those who are interested, if you want to or can tip, if you go into the description, take a look. There will be a link to tip. You'll even hear some words being said. If you don't see it, refresh the screen. It should definitively be there. Let me know if it is not. Wasn't Voyager a prototype? Voyager was not a prototype. To my knowledge, it was... wasn't Voyager the third ship, I think they said? Because the Intrepid, the USS Intrepid, was the first one. And I want to say there was another one. And then they had Voyager. It was the third of its kind. It was not the first one. When are you going to start letting us tip you with cryptocurrency? I don't know. I've never really gotten into crypto. I don't trust crypto. I'll be honest with you. That's... I hear so many horror stories about crypto. I know it's probably the way the world's going, but for now, I'm just an old curmudgeon. What's going on, Vermello? I thought Admiral is where all the bad Starfleet people... it could have been that. I could actually be in the wrong here. All of the bad guys become admirals, and they looked at her and they thought, wow, this is the queen. This is our god. And that's what happened. Janeway murdered Tuvix. She did murder Tuvix. Tony, if you refresh the screen and you go into the description, there's going to be a link there. You'll click on it. It's a Stream Elements link, and you can tip that way. The USS Bellerophon? Maybe. But I don't see... The Bellerophon came late into the Dominion War. By that time, so... I think it's logical, and I think it makes sense. Some people get confused when I talk about Alpha Canon. The way I look at how the universe works is you can have logical inferences when talking about Alpha Canon, right? And so, for instance, we never see any of them except for in one original series episode, or I think it may have been a movie. We never really see like restroom facilities, but you can assume that they had them. That's logical, right? And so when we look at, it's not Streamlabs, it's Stream Elements, if you see it below. If you look at the end of the Dominion War, I think they were pumping out all kinds of ships like it was going crazy, right? So I think you had tons of Intrepids, tons of Defiance, tons of Acuras, things of that nature. So the Bellerophon was definitely a Intrepid-class vessel. Was it like one of the original three? I don't know. I don't think we could logically get there, especially since it was towards the end of the war. I'm not sure. How do you think the history of the galaxy would have unfolded if shield technology was unusable, impossible to create? They probably would have relied more on ablative armor and such. We would have seen that come out a lot more. I think it would have changed how the Enterprise, how the Galaxy class was made, just amazingly. Because the Galaxy class was a powerful ship for its class, and its shields were unreasonably good. The shields on the The shields on the...
Axeman Titan tipped $5. Have you seen For All Mankind? It's an alternate reality science fiction series where the Soviets get to the moon first, and the space race becomes super intense after that. It's on Apple TV.
I have not. I will watch that, though. I watch Man in the High Castle, and I love that. So I'll have to watch For All Mankind, too. But, what was I talking about? Oh, so when you attack a Galaxy-class vessel, the shields are going to be the toughest part of it. Once you get past that, it's like a knife through butter. I think it would have changed the Galaxy class quite a lot. I think their armor would have been beefed up like no other. Beyond that, it probably would have been more missile combat. Honestly, originally the way it worked is the phasers, the phasers specifically were meant to drain shielding. And once shields were down, you then use the torpedoes to destroy the vessel. That changed a little bit once they got into mid to late TNG and then on into DS9. But in theory, the original use of the phasers was to drain the shields so you could get the kill shot. Oh, it's fine, X-Men Titan. I appreciate you doing it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I mean, definitively, it's not a big deal. But yeah, Man in the High Castle is amazing. I haven't watched the end of it. Naomi Wildman was delivered by transporter. She was. That is true. Did Voyager ever implement the proposed upgrade warp technology from Reginald Barclay? I'd assume so. I don't know. That would be one of those logical things, though. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't do it unless there was given a reason why. What is your canon explanation for the Borg reboot, especially the idea of queens, Borg space, and assimilation? So I have done a complete breakdown. I have an entire series dedicated to the Borg. I really need to turn that into a Chronicles, too. Or maybe I did. I think I actually did. I think there's a full series for the Borg. But anyway, there's no good reason to explain why they became a villain of the week. It honestly was for writing purposes, and it's a sad thing that happened, if you ask me. However, that said, I would say that if I had to explain it, I would blame it first on them assimilating Federation and Starfleet technology, as well as continuing to assimilate other technology from other worlds. I think that there would be reason to see some digression. They wouldn't look at it that way, but I think there would be some digression in why you'd start seeing shields and things like that. Shields... Because originally, if you remember, the Borg originally used subspace fields. They had no shielding whatsoever. So the first hit you ever did, the first time you popped a Borg vessel, you hit it 100%. You did massive amounts of damage. But you only ever got one shot because they adapted. Shielding at least protects you from whatever they hit, generally, right? So shielding is superior in that way. And I think that maybe... the more they assimilated, the more they found shielding as a technology, they decided to implement it, which ultimately would have made them weaker. But at the time, they wouldn't have thought so. At least that's what I think. I wrote and submitted a Telos blockchain proposal for Star Trek script writing, which could get funded. I've gotten thousands before. We can create a fan-made movies crypto funded. Well, that could be fun, AXA TV. That could be fun. I know CBS has guidelines, but we can stay within them. Yeah, they do have guidelines, don't they? Why are Federation ships so similar to human ships if humans had the worst tech in Enterprise? Well, I mean, the way it's always been explained is that they took the chassis of the Federation, of the United Earth, not the Federation, of the United Earth, and then just used the technologies of all the other species. So while you would have had, for instance, let me check something real quick. Why are Federation? While you would have had, for instance, the chassis of Starfleet, of Enterprise E, you would have had the weapons from the Andorians and the life support systems from the Vulcans. So it's really just a conglomeration. Now, why did they use the chassis? Again, because it's being written by people who want to make humans be the best. But I mean, if I absolutely had to justify it, I would probably say at the formation of the Federation and of Starfleet. And yes, this is a new Starfleet. It's not the same Starfleet. At the creation of the new Starfleet, they honored the humans, because the humans were really what brought it all together, by keeping the chassis design. I would say that is they did that as a way of speaking monument to what the humans did. They gave an NX a minor refit. You know, something interesting that I never noticed until it was pointed out to me. One of the things they went on purpose is to make the Starfleet, make the human ships and everything, to make them have saucers. Saucers are generally given to like aliens and stuff. And so, and another piece to the chassis thing,
Tony Talarico tipped $5. Are we ever going to get an explanation on the Green's true appearance?
on the who's? Oh, the Breens, their true appearance. I don't think so. Well, not right now, because I don't think that's what they're doing. But what was I saying? I was saying that the Starfleet ships had saucers. Oh, and the other piece too. So if you went watching the original series, ironically, the first half of the first season was kind of confusing because they still didn't know what they wanted Star Trek to be. And so sometimes it was the United Earth, sometimes it was Starfleet, sometimes it was Star Command. And interestingly, we see Romulans, Klingons call the Enterprise a Earth ship. So it is possible that you still had individual designs, and ultimately human design won out for whatever reason. But yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see the Breen. I really like the explanation that is in the book. Oh, what is it? I think it's the something Accords. I forget what it's called, but the explanation where it's 4 different species, and they didn't want to have racism or anything, so everyone wore the same kind of uniform, so they didn't know who they were talking to. I thought that was excellent. I like that. Who doesn't have a Twitter? I have a Twitter, good friend. When they made Earth the HQ, it made sense to use the human shipyards. That's fair enough, too. Until they were destroyed in Mars, because, screw that. DS9 is like the Ghetto Projects or the Galaxy Public Housing, and DS9 will have huge opportunities right now with the... What? Okay. Would argue between scientific Vulcan design and Andorian warship designs, the Terran Starfleet fitted both purposes. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot do it. There's a lot. SF Debris has the best explanation for the Breen. I'm curious. I watch SF Debris, but I'm not sure what his explanation is. So if you'd let me know. Unless he's about to say they were the species that Archer forgot. Of course, he also has made the joke that the idiot species are the ones that they forgot as well. So I like SF Debris. He was a large inspiration when I went full... Well, I hate saying that I went full Trek, but when I went mainly Trek, he was a good inspiration. The attitude, the fact that I don't do this kind of like legit, I won't say legit. The fact that you're not watching another space doc and stuff like that is because I really like the way SF Debris brought his stuff out. That's just me personally. Twitter is pretty toxic. I use Twitter. And honestly, if you go to Twitter and you look me up, please don't expect me to do everything Star Trek, or don't expect to agree with me, or don't even expect for me not to get like political and stuff like that. I'm just saying. LOL, he didn't want to say it. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to go that far into it. Aksa, alas, I'm not going to. The human ships were more widely accepted as the people who would rather sit down and talk before they went guns blazing, mostly because humans knew they would never win. Yes, the Packlets. Okay, Dakota, I guess. Yeah, it's really interesting. So you guys know I have a breakdown of the ship, the NX-01, the NX series. People get so upset when I talk about how it's the worst ship on God's green earth, when how it's one of the worst vessels in the Alpha Quadrant. Now, it is an amazing piece of technology for the humans, and I even point that out, that it was wondrous for the humans. It was really a touch above. And I they have accolades for it. But when you compare it to the Vulcans, to the Romulans, to the Andorians, to the whatever Tellarites, it was garbage. It was a garbage ship. It was like if you had a war canoe that your tribe had just made.
Anonymous tipped $6.32. Janeway was in the right to kill Tuvix. She went about it the wrong way and it could have been done much better. But in the end 2 members of the crew were basically being held hostage. That's not even getting into the Tom Riker situation.
Incorrect. We'll get on that in a second. If you're a tribe and you had just got to the ocean and you're trying to figure out how things float and you make a war canoe, that could be a great thing for you. You now have something that floats on the water. That doesn't mean the fact that when a submarine passes you by, the submarine isn't infinitely better. To address that, the murdering of Tuvix was absolutely, in my opinion, horrific. There was very little justification. 2 people weren't being held hostage. It was a brand new life form. It was something. It was a new person. I've discussed this before. I've done several videos on it. Tuvok would have gladly given his life to save someone else. That's a part of the Starfleet Commission. Neelix is a little bit more gray. However, it is a murdering of 2 people, and it made the situation worse for Voyager. That said, if you want the 2 people back, then if you want to say, if you want to say one person is worth killing to get 2 people back, especially since they're your friend, then, Lore Reloaded. Which ships do you believe would have finally been retired by the end of the Dominion War? I like to think that the Ambassador class would still be kicking around for... well, interestingly enough, when we see by the end of the Dominion War, specifically in Voyager, when you see all of them bring all the ships out, you see multiple Galaxy-class vessels, you see some Defiance. I don't think you see another Intrepid, but you do see... Do you see Mirandas? Maybe there are some Mirandas there. I think the Ambassador may still be around, but it was more a status symbol. The Ambassador was always a status symbol by that... is it the Ambassador I'm thinking about? I think it's the Ambassador. Hold on. No, that's not what I'm thinking about. I was thinking... what was the other one I was thinking about? Sulu was in Command 1. I don't think I don't know. The one Sulu was, oh my God. How do I forget that one? It was it was a really big one. What the hell was it? You guys are going to tell me 30 seconds later. But anyway,
Jim Guckin tipped $5. Loving the stream.
Well, glad you enjoyed, Jim Guckin. I think that they would still have Ambassador class. I think they would still have, earlier models, but they would be more in the background. Honestly, ultimately, the way Starfleet works, the way Excelsior, yeah. The way Starfleet works is they can modify any ship and technologically advance any ship to the point that it can be used almost in any era. Now, that doesn't mean it's as powerful. You watch Mirandas get destroyed like they were nothing, right? However, Excelsiors, Ambassadors, Mirandas, all of these kinds of vessels can still be in operation, and I think they are. You even see Oberths, and Oberths are just absolutely horrific. So are they still in use? Yes, I think in short supply. But technically, I think they are. If you guys could keep yelling Excelsior, every other line, that'd be fantastic. If we could keep that going, that's not annoying, in the slightest. So definitely, continue to do that. But yeah, the Excelsiors were the ones that the admirals would come in. They had a lot of that old staying power, What's your opinion of the new Picard version of the 7 of 9 in contrast to the Star Trek Voyager portrayal of her character? I don't like... I don't like the changes in 7 of 9, but she was never my ultimate, oh my God, favorite character. The reason why I don't like the changes...
Padparidja tipped $3. The human design is inoffensive to the other three species who all hated each other. It was everybody's second choice, after their own. If the Vulcans, Tellarites or Andorians could have acted as an adult, any other ship would have been used.
I actually don't hate that. Yeah, they argued a lot, so I think that voting on the humans probably... I like that. I'm going to start using that. That is a good example. The 7 of 9, they changed her, and they didn't really... They did a tell, not show, and I really don't like that. They went out of their way to not build the character, but tell you what the character was. I didn't like the whole, her son was killed or whatever they did on that. They again, that was more show, not tell. Her becoming bisexual or ultimately being homosexual, that was show, don't tell.
Excelsior tipped $1. Excelsior.
I like the joke. I like that. I like what you did with that. By the way, guys, don't forget to refresh ever so often to make sure you're as close to as up to date as you are. As it continues to go through, as the live stream continues on, you'll start lagging more and more, and it won't be as up to date with you guys hearing what I'm saying. The Enterprise in Ixel 1 had to run away. Correct. Why did you hire GLaDOS to voice this? I like that. I like that British accent. Don't you like her? I think she's awesome. I can change it though. Hold on. Let's change it because someone had an issue. Because that's what you do. If one person complains, about anything, you have to apologize and change it. So we are not going to, at this point, have... Hold on. Where is it? Is it down here? No, I click on this, right? And then I go to Settings. And then I go to Tips. And then I go to TTS. So we don't like Amy. We don't like Amy at all. So we're going to do Layla. We're going to do Layla. Layla. It's been changed to Layla. So no more GLaDOS. My thumbnail reminds you of the movie signs? Well, good. That's what it's meant to do. What do you think of the continuity errors on Picard and Discovery? I think Picard doesn't do it as poorly. I think that Discovery does it in spades, but everyone else will Discovery does it in spades, but honestly, they just took everything that happened in all other series and dialed it up to 11. In TNG, the Klingon Empire starts as being a part of the Federation and within Starfleet. You even have Klingon ships with Starfleet logos and Klingon logos together. And so, the continuity and such of that is broken to hell and back. Discovery just did the same thing. They just consistently did it. GLaDOS is not a complaint. I'm still alive, says Daniel. Well, good. And I'll simp the heck. Yeah, I mean, British sounding man. Whew, if there's a female that has a British accent, done. Married right there. So I'm just saying, if you want some of that YouTube cheese, some of that YouTube gold, as I'm sitting here talking about how horrible it's been for the last month, if you want some of that YouTube gold and you have a British accent, hey, look me up. I heard Discovery was going to be canceled. Yeah, I mean, Tony, so first off, CBS is not going to... I do not believe CBS will at any point sell Star Trek. I think you're listening to the wrong sources. Discovery is always being canceled. It's always... Everybody talks about how Discovery is being canceled, and then all of a sudden, they have a new season come up. So, it's just, I would not believe that in the slightest. What's your opinion on the real alleged Galactic Federation that UFO contacts talk about? Isn't it likely that we already exist as a pre-warp civ in an existing federation? It's possible. There's no way to know that. Raging Havoc, you got the accent. I tell you what, record yourself and send it to me. Send it to james@lorereloaded.com. Send a picture of yourself and we'll talk. Not against it. It's going to be a tougher, I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be a little bit tougher when it comes to the application. But we'll see. I've known you for a while. You're a friend. We'll see. Have you read the Rise of the Federation books? I have not. Lore, it was a joke. Use any voice. I know, man. King, I'm giving you a hard time, buddy. I can't joke back. I cannot joke back to you guys. I mean, I cannot. Also, I'm interested in what Layla sounds like. I don't know if we've done one yet, but we'll see. You should check out Ella Roberts on YouTube. She's a beautiful redheaded Scottish singer. Yeah, but first off, she's beautiful. She's redheaded. She's Scottish, and she's a singer. I really doubt that I'm within her ballpark at all. So, but hey, Elia or Aya, if you're watching, hey. I kind of wish they just let fans write scripts. I mean, Axonar or Star Trek Continues with a triple budget. I'm all in. Yeah, that's interesting. I think Axonar. So the English gent, I need you to send me your voice. I also need a picture of you, and I need why you should be my new wife. Axonar really did get the spirit down, at least in their short film, their quote unquote trailer. I don't know how the actual movie will be. I hope it's great. I would, and look. Kingzilla, my humor is very, very, it's hard to tell when I'm joking, I know. Remove everything in the background about Alex Peters. All of the controversy, all of the drama, just wipe all of that away. I liked his ideas. I liked where he went with it. And I think if he could continue to do that, he could make a really strong series. Go watch English with Lucy channel for a beautiful experience. No, they have to be willing to date me and marry me. That's what I'm saying. That's a part of the application process. Yes, I have Google. I can find all the British people in the world that I want to watch in varying states of, we'll talk about that when the kids are gone. But I know that.
Gila DOS tipped $1. The Enrichment Center is committed to the well-being of all participants.
Oh, I don't
Cake and grief counseling will be available at the conclusion of the test. Thank you for helping us help you help us. This is the wrong voice. Change it back.
Oh, I don't like her at all. No, I don't like that. No, that's not Layla and me will never find love. Nope. I don't prefer that. No, I don't want a voiceover person. I'm looking for someone to be. I'm lonely. I'm a lonely guy. God, people don't understand me at all. Hold on, let me change this. I don't like that. There was nothing about that I enjoyed. Hold on. Wait for it. If you were to tell me when I was in my teens, hey, this is what you're going to do for a living, I would have not believed you. All right. Sorry, Layla. Ooh. Oh, wow. There's Australian English. We got German, Danish. Wow, this thing is... Look at how advanced this thing is. Castilian Spanish. Wow. Okay, hold on. Let's go Australian English, Indian English, British English, Australian English. We're gonna go with Jaden, Australia English. I like it.
Paul tipped $5. Keep on keeping on.
Whoa. Jaden's a dude. I don't want to listen to Jaden. Let's go to Ashley. Thank you for the support, by the way, guys. If you want to fan fund something, just so you know, when you're given, you can fan fund stuff with the different tips and stuff like that. And just let me know where you want it to go towards. I'm not doing German. I can't speak German. How much should I donate to have the voice read the entire lyrics to the Ghostbusters themes? It'd have to be more than 99 cents. So yeah, if you did $1 and it was going on for too long, I would just shut it down. We would not be listening to that, by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, they didn't even have decency to build Data a new body, but they made android people, android animals, and even android plants. Data even had to ask Picard to kill. Yeah, they didn't treat him well, did they? Well, the other thing with Data is maybe he was waiting for Picard. I don't know. I don't know. I want to do a stop-motion Star Trek movie. You should, then. You are doing CBS's job for them. I am, in fact, giving CBS a lot of money. That is true. I'm not sure what you'd like me to do about that. If I stopped doing Star Trek altogether, my channel would tank. Without a doubt, would tank. I could probably survive for a couple of months, and unless I could find a way or something else that would make it, there's no way. There is absolutely no way. In fact, if you look at the different months, so, and we'll go back to Trek, guys, I'm sorry, but if you look at the different months, look at when I was doing multiple different series, which I'm going to go back to, by the way. If you look at that month versus this month, when all I did was Star Trek, I made thousands more. I haven't got that yet, but literally it is so much more money just to do Star Trek. It would destroy my channel to not do Star Trek. Unfortunately, everything is like months behind, so I won't see that until like Christmas. It's stupid. Yeah, and I agree. CBS should be paying me at least $1,000 a month. They have made at least $5,000 to $10,000 off of me, if not more, because some of the stuff I'm just not fighting them on. This should be a new weekly routine. Observing lore, try out different accents for the stream. That would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? How would you end the Kelvin? I wouldn't end the Kelvin timeline. I wish JJ Trek continued on. I know that is not a popular. I know that's not a popular opinion. I know people really don't like JJ Trek, but it's kind of like with Battlestar Galactica. With Battlestar Galactica, they said, "Hey, this is something new. We're reimagining it." If you're saying that you're trying it from a different angle, I can enjoy the heck out of it. But we all here for your personality. Well, yeah, I am a full-time worker. That is true. I work hours. It's not unreasonable to assume that I can work a 9-hour day. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about with Star Trek? What do you want to talk about, Random Gooey? What do you want to talk about? Why don't people like your Trek fan fiction? Maybe they do, JJ. How do you know they don't? Maybe they enjoy the heck out of it. Oh, you're talking about JJ Trek. Aha! Took me a second. Is Majel Barrett an option for the text-to-speech option? It would be perfect. No, unfortunately, I didn't see Majel Barrett there. $52,000 a year is still to get you just to make Trek content. Dude, I'm with you. I'd accept that job. What if the Constitution class was kept around instead of the Excelsior? Like, just think on how horrifying that would be for the crews of those ships. I honestly think that they would have upgraded the Constitution, just like they upgraded all the other classes. So I don't think that that's necessarily a huge deal, necessarily. It would have looked old, though. I think that the design was pretty antiquated. I know that there are Trek channels that are like, "Oh my God, it's the most perfect design that I've ever seen." I know there are channels that say that, but it is so antiquated, and I think using the newer bottles was better. What are your thoughts on the USS Vengeance, and do you think we should have gotten more of her in Star Trek Into Darkness? I think the USS Vengeance made a ton of sense for JJ Trek. I think the USS Vengeance was reflective of ultimately what Nero had done. Because remember, here's the interesting thing. When Nero attacked, not only did he destroy a vessel, but they still got scans and such off of the tech that attacked the Kelvin. And so the Starfleet would have advanced in technology faster, specifically weapon technology, faster than it had originally. And because of this attack, it startled Starfleet into becoming more militaristic. And so the Vengeance, I think, is a natural progression of what happened after Nero, the battle, the butterfly effect. Just like with Section 31 having their own installation.
Pat Parachute tipped $5. What would your pitch for a new Trek series be? Mine would follow a generational ship, something it's reasonable to have kids on a mission to leave the galaxy.
So the USS Vengeance in and of itself, I think, is reasonable. I kind of like her, but I think we're going to go with something different. For specifically JJ Trek. So the question was, and let me go look it up because it's hard to understand her to a degree. Well, first let's change her out. Ashley, I'm sorry. We're going to have to go. We're going in another direction, but I appreciate you giving us your best. Where are you, Ashley? There you are. Let's see. Samantha. No. Zoe, you're up. Good luck. I'm rooting for you, chick. All right. Let me make sure I got the question right. because I can actually go back here and take a look. What would your pitch for a new Star Trek series be? Mine would follow a generational ship. I am not a fan of generational ships necessarily, unless you're going to make them behemoths. Unless you're going to make them unreasonably powerful so that, children don't die. Mine would be, I've already talked about this. It would be post Deep Space Nine. It would be post Deep Space Nine, and it would be about basically a Starfleet or Federation civil war. I think that it would be discussing whether Starfleet should be explorers or if they should be warriors, and it would be on an Akira class vessel. Laura, have you read the Trek comics? I've read a few. Are you planning on doing videos on them? They had some comics that explored what if the Dominion won the war. I did some of the comics on Star Trek Picard. Didn't really get a lot of interest in that. Hey man, just saw you were online and want to tell you hi. I hope you're having a wonderful one. Well, I am having a good one. Hope you are too, Jasper. Babylon 5 size generational ship. Yeah, I mean the ship would have to be pretty powerful. It would need to be able to handle its own. What happened to saucer separation in the Next Generation? I think it cost too much. They just didn't want to have to pay for all of that. Was going on, I think. How would you improve Star Trek Online if given the opportunity? I would use new code. Because of the code, it requires that anything they make be connected to the... What's up, SC? Haven't seen you in a while. Would make everything be connected to the Klingons and Starfleet. And so I would do a Star Trek Online 2. And I would rewrite the code to have it multiple different factions that you can join. And they're actual honest-to-God factions. It's not just a, hey, here's like 5 different... here's 5 different missions that you can do. Now choose Klingon or Starfleet. And Samantha, I can't use your voice on here. If you would like to... do everything required to have a TTS voice, I'll be happy to use it. My pitch would be a new show that doesn't use profanity strictly for shock value and to show the de-evolution of future society's ability to communicate with civility. I see what you did there, Willie B. I see what you did there. My generational ship would basically be a combiner with separate subships made by the various major factions. Yeah, I like that, JJ.
Anonymous tipped $1. I just remembered Star Trek manga exists. If I remember correctly, it had mobile suits and gender bending.
I want to read that. I don't know. I don't hate her. Let's give it a second. I'm not enjoying the Australian English though. They seem a little too cut off for me. I don't know. We could go to like Italian, but I think it starts speaking Italian. Laura, do you think we should get more on the Enterprise E and maybe see more of her in the future? I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be pretty cool if we actually did that. I don't know that it would I don't know how well it would be received, but I would like to see the Enterprise E. Though by Starfleet standards, it's pretty antiquated. Dear God, my ears. Okay, well, English Gent didn't like it. Sorry, chick. Can't use you. You're gone. God, are we ever going to find someone good enough for all of us? Hold on. Can't use her. All right, we're getting out of Australian English. Let's do Italian. Let's see what happens when we go Italian. I love Italian. You know, I hate Southern stereotypes, and I hate people who embrace Southern stereotypes. Since I live in the South, I get that a lot. It's like, oh, it's funny. Southern people are known to be idiots. Let's just laugh at that. I can't stand that. But I really can get into a nice Southern accent. Let's see. Ooh, we got French. Let's go Yvonne. French Francais. I don't know if it'll speak French or if it'll just be in a French accent. Let's find out. Going Scottish. Download a Klingon voice. Someone has made that. Oh, that'd be cool. What's going on, United Republic of Earth? I don't think it's, you know, a lot of people are like, I want to see a Klingon show. I want to see a show with trade ships. Look, and this may just be me being old fashioned, but Star Trek was always about Starfleet. I'm in Tennessee, Dr. X17. Star Trek was always about Starfleet. It was about going where no man has gone before. I liked that. I wanted to stay that. Did you know they actually used hard R, the N hard R word in Deep Space Nine? No joke. Hopefully it'll be Picard French, so it'll be British, is what you're saying. I believe that after the TNG era, the Feds are well on their way to becoming a galactic superpower. I'd like to see a struggle to decide what kind of... Yeah, that's what I'm saying, APER7 2222. They are a superpower. After the Dominion War, they are a superpower. They are the only... They could go unchallenged if they wanted to. Starfleet could wipe the board effectively if they wanted to. After the Dominion War, they were the only superpower left. And I think that a civil strife or civil war about what kind of, like you said, what kind of superpower are they going to keep being explorers or not? I would love that. I would, you know, if I was going to write, that's what I'd say. What is the hard R? You don't know what the hard R is? The word starts with an N and it has a hard R to it. If you don't know, then Google it, or I don't know, go ask somebody. That's a fair point about Star Trek show being about Starfleet. Yeah, I mean that's just me though. I can understand. And Star Trek was always about trying something new and changing the status quo. And that's why I don't get too mad about Discovery or Picard, because it is about trying new things. Yeah, Michael, don't even. We're gonna hide that. I can get banned for that. Believe it or not, Michael. You didn't do anything wrong, and I'm not mad, but I can get banned for that. I forgot what the hell I was talking about now. It scares me that how the only thing that stops the Federation is moral. Sometimes the morals don't even stop it. Would you watch a horror miniseries based on the Star Trek universe? Anytime you watch the original series, anytime you watch The Next Generation, anytime you watch Deep Space Nine, you're watching a horror series. Don't lie to yourself. Don't at any point lie to yourself. And, you know, I don't want to get too into it, but just so you guys know, when it comes to stuff like that, if you try to say any words that could get you kicked off Twitter, let's say, I have to stop that word or remove you completely from the conversation. They will literally take away my ability to like make money. And they did that to a bigger YouTuber. Let's not talk about, not a bigger YouTuber, but there was a YouTuber who, let's say, was radically free speech, we'll put it that way, and was raising money, and all of that, it was like thousands of dollars, and all of it was returned because the commenters were being horrifically racist, and then the channel was removed. So it's incumbent upon me to stop that stuff. I want to see what the Breen has been up to after DS9. I just don't think they're going to do any. The Breen were really brought into more in Deep Space Nine. They became a big deal, and they seem to be staying away from DS9. I don't know why. I don't know what the stigma is, but they don't. Stop being nice about it. It's racist, period. It's not acceptable. I don't want to get into it, Brad. Why was I hit this? Yeah, and that's another point, Michael. I got one of my videos demonetized because I was talking about the Ferengi and they thought I was being racist. No one really is, Matthew. I'm just setting it up. I, for one, like E.C. Henry's idea of Star Trek McCoy. I don't know that I've seen that. I don't know if I've seen that one. Yeah, I know several YouTubers. They're really coming down on it. Interestingly enough, though, my channel, YouTube does give me problems from time to time, but I think my channel is stuff like my channel is really what YouTube wants to promote. Because my channel has been doing a lot better since they've started taking other ones down. I think they really want, I think they really want like cat videos or videos like mine that are just for entertainment. I don't think they necessarily want vlogging or politics they would consider wrong. And I think you can see that. I don't want to get into a discussion about it, but I would agree. I think that's where they're going. Even when you, and I'll say this, I don't want to get, I know I'm talking about it and saying I don't want to get into a discussion about it. Channels that are even related to Trek, but would still have a specific bent to them that they may not like, I think are being punished as well. How can you be racist against a fictional alien race? That's what I was talking about, Neil. I had to go out of my way and get to specific contacts within YouTube that I knew to get it fixed. Twitter, the Twitter YouTube, Team YouTube was like, yep, you can't be racist. It's a fiction. Not only is it a fictional race, I wasn't being racist. Would you like Kelvin DS9? I probably would. Would you call a tank crew adult? Back in my young man days, I served in a tank crew. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Miss Liv. I'm sorry. What do you think about the big lawsuit to force YouTube to define itself as either a publisher or a platform? I don't know that. I haven't heard anything about an actual lawsuit going through. I know that the government's wanting to crack down on them. I love YouTube. I'm a huge advocate for YouTube, which makes a lot of people mad. I do think that they need to pick a lane, though. Their stuff is so vague that they can ban anybody they want, and I think they need to pick a lane. I think a DS9 Kelvin would be interesting. There's a big difference between profanity for comical effect, like in Star Trek, and profanity for shock effect, like in Picard. I'd agree with that, X-Men. I do. Can you do breakdowns on the Star Trek Green Lantern comics? I can if you want to fan fund that. I know you've been given money and you're a part of, and you're a patron, so if you want to put all of that money towards it, I'll definitely do that. I haven't done that. I haven't looked at that. Everyone is racist. That's true. It was interesting how Brock Peters had difficulty making statements as Admiral Cartwright about the Klingons. Well, the interesting thing about Undiscovered Country, it wasn't just Brock Peters. Everybody had a lot of issues. Kirk, the crew of the Enterprise, Kirk hated the fact that his character was ultimately racist because he felt like that went against everything that the character was. Interestingly, and a lot of the crew was that way too. A lot of the actors and even the crew on Star Trek hated that there was racist characters. They didn't feel like Star Trek or Starfleet would be that way. I think it was for the better. I think that Undiscovered Country is one of the best Trek movies, and I think that was the way. No, I talk about this all the time. I don't know. Okay, so I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but telling me to set up and go to BitChute is like telling someone who is on Times Square, who has a shop on Times Square, who complains about the rent or complains that ever so often they do something wrong or complains about something in their contract. It's like going to them and saying, hey, you don't like it here in Times Square. Why don't you go to Kalamazoo, Indiana, which has a population of 50 people, and why don't you start selling your wares there? Why don't you do that? Not only that, Kalamazoo is deeply in debt and may not exist in the next 5 years, but why don't you go there and do it? It's a really good option. VidMe, Mixer, there are so many. You can't compete with YouTube. YouTube is what it is. I don't mind you guys swearing. I don't mind curse words here and there. It's just you can't. Anything that would get you banned off YouTube or Twitter, you just can't do. Choose the best space station design: Deep Space Nine, Earth Space Dock, or Yorktown Station. God, I haven't seen that Yorktown in so long. Yorktown seemed huge and cumbersome. I would probably go Space Dog. Don't have to quit YouTube to upload to BitChute. Well, I agree with that. I don't have to quit YouTube to upload to BitChute. I need to find the time to do that. Lore, do I like computers? Yes, I use them for a living, in fact. And this is going to blow your mind, Dr. X17. I am, in fact, talking to you through a computer. It's crazy, I know. I'm as surprised as you are, but... Would Kelvin Starfleet fight Cardassia and free Bajor? Yeah, I think Kelvin Starfleet would probably just stomp Cardassia. They wouldn't go out of their way to destroy them or remove them from the planet, but they would not back down from a fight. I don't think. Kirk wasn't racist in an ignorant way. He had reason to hate Klingons way at that time. After all, he lost his son to Klingon machination. Orataka, I think you're trying to get me into... My work loves you, John. My work loves you. I think you're trying to get me in trouble here, buddy. Because not all Klingons, hashtag not all Klingons killed his son, good friend. Hashtag not all Klingons, but he blamed the entire race for the acts of a few. You trying to bait me, buddy. I know. I see it, Orataka. Oratakawatinga. Just upload the same vid to BitChute. A lot of conservatives upload same vid to both platforms. We could do that. Again, you'd be surprised how much time I don't have in my day. I do use... Actually, you caught me, Portnov. I am, in fact, using a string phone to talk to you guys. Just because you use a computer doesn't mean you like them. Just because you use a computer doesn't mean you like them. Why douche so hard? So, Descent Design, I'm going to assume that you're new here. That is my comedy. My humor is quite dry. I like giving a hard time to those who are in my chat. And so if you think that was insulting, if you think that was me being a douche, you are not going to have a good time. You will not enjoy anything that has to do with this channel. But to be clear there, I was joking. I do like computers. I mean, I love the hell out of computers. I use them a lot. Lauren, may I ask, what do you do for a living? Does it allow you enough time to do Trek videos, or do you wish you had more time? The big exclusive. I actually, for a living, am a YouTuber. I create content on YouTube. This is literally what I do for a living. Generally, I'm able to support 2 kids off of this. Now, ever since I've been getting my film degree and stuff, I've done other things here and there. I've done a couple documentaries and a couple of ads for companies and stuff like that. Not as a main job, but just to tip my toe in the water, see if that's something I'd prefer to do. But yeah, the reason I do YouTube for a living, this is how I pay my rent. Or actually, I pay rent now. I actually owned a house that I paid mortgage on. That's how I paid the mortgage. I have a friend with 2 small girls of his own. I know Laura doesn't have the time to upload to multiple sites. Yeah, oh my god, dude. I mean, did I like Star Trek 5? Did I like... If that's the one I think it is, the answer is probably no. Did I like The Final Frontier? No, I didn't care for it all that much. At all. Do you believe the fallout of the Federation in Picard is karma for you wanting it to fall apart? Do I believe that the fallout of the Federation in Picard is karma for me? I never wanted the Federation to fall apart. I do think it is... I do believe it is consistent. I think that's exactly what would happen. My humor is dry. You mean like the content of Star Trek motion picture? Yes. I noticed lore is usually under 20 minutes. Does that mean you make less money? Yes, WJ. Generally, the longer you make something, assuming people watch it, the better off you are. Okay, guys, I understand that BitChute automatically brings stuff over. I'll take a look at it. Honest to God, I don't have a lot of time on my hands. I literally taking it you would. I know it sounds stupid, but even just taking the time to learn BitChute to even the most minimalistic degree would take time out of my would take time that I generally could use for something else. However, I have heard you. I now understand that BitChute will take whatever is on my YouTube channel and put it there. I will take a look into it. I am not going to become BitChute exclusive. I am not going to do special stuff for BitChute. VidMe screwed me over something fierce. If we're going to get into this conversation, let's get into this conversation. When it came to VidMe, I was actually, when I first started, and I wasn't really all that well known on YouTube, I had YouTube and VidMe. And generally, I did basically 60-40, maybe 70-30 towards YouTube. But I put a lot of effort into VidMe. I built a community on VidMe. I was giving them feedback, and then out of nowhere, they just completely self-destructed. It was a complete waste of my time. I got no advantages from it. They're not the only ones that happened to. You see what happened to Mixer. Mixer, which is backed by Microsoft, wasn't able to survive. I get it. I'll look into it. I'm not against having a backup for my videos, but I'm just saying, we're just trying to help you out. Yeah, oh my God. People, I'm passionate. I'm not mad at you. Joseph, I'm not mad at you, buddy. I love you. I'm really hoping that our relationship works out. I'm just passionate about what I talk about. Laura has 2 full-time jobs. One being a father. I have 3. One being a father, one being a YouTuber, and then I go to Full Sail. I go to Full Sail full-time. Laura, I'm sure you're able to decide how to put your stuff on the internet. No, I really appreciate you guys telling me about BitChute. I'm trying to explain why I'm so pessimistic about it. I don't like that YouTube has a monopoly. I love YouTube. I think everyone should, if they're going to do it, I think YouTube is a great place to go. I don't like that YouTube has a monopoly. And I do hope that something like Vimeo or something like BitChute can especially be a good alternative where people will go to if YouTube says, we don't want certain kinds of content. Like, we're not even going to get into it. Content that most people would think is okay is what I'll say. I would like them to have a competitor. I think it would be better if they did. This is why I'm pessimistic about it, With 75,000 subs, supporting kids, money, and able to do other work sounds good. Yeah, I enjoy it. Full Sail University. Yeah. I thought you knew that, Doctor. I'm getting a bachelor's in digital cinematography. I will, in fact, graduate in March. I've been doing this for about 2 or 3 years now. Oh, and it's my birthday today. Happy birthday, Katrina! Yay! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Katrina. Happy birthday to you. YouTube has Google money. No one can compete. Yeah. And I'm not even... Yeah, I agree, Matthew. And I'm not even saying that's good. I'm just saying. I don't upload ever, so maybe I misunderstood the process, but I thought that you just press upload on the same vid. No. Here's the interesting thing. And, if you want to get back to Star Trek, we can, but YouTube, making YouTube work, making YouTube an actual career is so much more than just hitting upload. And that's not even talking about the hours it goes through to make a video. You need to take out... Generally, people who make it on YouTube will end up spending hours upon hours on one video and then uploading it. Then once you upload it, there's so much more to it. And there's so much more putting into it. It's more than and I know maybe that's not... I know you didn't necessarily just mean that, but I'm just, for those who are interested, there's so much to it. I would do, I don't know that I have the talent to do a TikTok. I'll be honest with you. You either got to expand your audience or diversify revenue in multiple ways. Yeah. Which is part of what I'm trying to do, and that's why I'm building up my Patreon. There's a couple of other revenue avenues I have, but I am uncomfortably reliant on YouTube, and I don't like that. You know, it's possible that I'll get hit with a copyright strike. I didn't even think about that. Did you guys know Happy Birthday is copyright strike? It has a copyright to it. Is that not just the dumbest thing? We'll probably be ending this fairly shortly. I need to do these more. I always enjoy doing them with you guys. Neil, I respect people who can thumb down. I'm okay with that. Whether you thumb up or thumb down, don't be scared of it. It's interaction. I still get something good from it. That's what I love about, so the best thing you can ever do to a YouTuber, just so you guys know, is ignore them. Don't ever watch any of their videos. Don't ever comment directly on their videos, and don't thumb it down. YouTube only looks at the interaction. I get hit by copyright on the daily. Okay, you want to talk about copy? I mean, it's not they're content IDs, which is based on the copyright law. But so let's look at this. In the last 10 videos, let's see how many videos right now CBS is going to get to keep the money until YouTube responds and my counterclaims go through. Okay, so on the last 10 videos, 1, 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the last 10 videos, 6 of them are sending all money to CBS right now. 6 of them are sending money to CBS right now. I have countered those claims, and unless CBS says we'll sue you, I will get that money back, but it'll be over 30 days before I get that money. 6. Michael, it's pretty in depth when it comes to uploading. You need to make sure your thumbnail is on task. You need to make sure that the title is there. You need to make sure that any kind of tags you want to put on it. You need to make sure that everything is set up on the back-end system. You need to verify if it's gotten hit with a terms of service violation with the DMCA. You need to start interacting with the people who are commenting on it. So Facebook's bread and butter is hate interaction, whatever stirs up emotion. Well, that's YouTube too. That's why I'm not saying all, but Fandom Menace thrives. A lot of Fandom Menace. Hashtag not all, but a lot of Fandom Menace thrives on hate interaction. We are Starfleet too, honestly. If we're gonna be honest about it, we are Starfleet does it too. Advanced cyber begging, yeah. I hate asking for money. I hate asking for, like, just being, hey guys, I need help. I have been tempted. Like, I'm gonna be fine. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be okay. I can make it. But and I'm not above it if I thought my kids couldn't eat. But I feel so weird about putting up a video and saying, hey, I need like X. I need you guys to give me. I've never been good at that. I'm not good at asking for help in that way in real life either. I'm just so self-reliant that I find ways to do it on my own. One of the reasons why I like doing this is I feel like I'm providing you guys a service. So like, when you guys are talking, if you don't have to, but if you want to do a tip, that's awesome. That helps me out. And I feel like the interaction is kind of the service for doing that, dancing. But just uploading a video, I know a lot of people do it, and me personally, I can't just do that. I feel like I have to give you something for what you're giving, if that makes any sense. Which is interesting, because a lot of trolls and a lot of people who don't like YouTube are just like, oh, you're just begging for money now. when it takes a lot more to process. I don't know. So many minor YouTubers have their chat shilling and merch game down. Yeah, I'll agree with that, Michael. Better than me, for sure. I have some merch. I actually had the War Canoe, which has like, I guess I need to get back in that game. You would be so surprised how little people get from that, though. The merch it's disappointing in a way. Though, I mean, it is having people be walking advertisements. I don't know. Maybe I need to get back in that. I need to become a better businessman, is what that is. I got the entertainment down. Warhammer Imperium versus Borg. Any thoughts? I think it would depend. I think the Imperium would go ballistic with the Borg. Well, I don't know. I think they might even see the Borg as kind of what they're doing to a degree. I think the Borg would probably win, though. Sponsor vids are fine. I think it's fine as long as content is good. Yeah, I don't mind sponsorships. Sponsorship, that's not even what I was talking about video uploading, saying, hey guys, I need help to like feed my kids. Can you please just donate to this PayPal account? No, sponsorships I don't have any issues with. I did a Loot Crate sponsorship. I do have some requirements when it comes to my sponsorships. I have to be able to say whatever I want to say. I have to be able to do the skit or whatever I'm going to do in my way, and it has to be relevant to the channel. Welcome off work, Vile. Hope you're doing wrong. What's wrong with begging for money for entertainment? PBS does it all the time. Yeah, but I mean, I want to give you something out of it. I just don't want to upload. I just don't want to upload a video saying, "Hey, give me monies." I don't like that. Well, I mean, Neil, if you want to send me an email at james@lorerelated.com, we can talk about it. I already got a couple of things. I just need to put them up. I need to find somewhere to sell them on. Thoughts on the time Archer stole a warp core? I think season 3. I actually have a video on that. I've already talked about it, Harry. I will say that you are needy. Why are you so needy? I will say that I think that's why I say that Archer sometimes made the right choice, but not always made the but didn't always make the moral choice. That's what I say when I say that. PBS gets most of its money from HBO. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to buy the crate while we're on that, I'm probably going to be ending this soon. I'm thinking about doing a video tonight and testing it, talking about DMCAs and content IDs. I'm considering doing a video tonight, and seeing if it gets hit, because I wanted to do the torture scene in Chains of Command Part 2, but YouTube instantly shuts that down. And if they instantly shut it down, it takes it 2 days before you guys even see it, and I'll never make a dime from it. So I'm going to probably work with that tonight. I'm tired. I want to go sleep, but I guess I need to do that, don't I? But I'm hoping I can get it up tomorrow. On some of this stuff, I've started to say, because again, the upcoming months, next month on the 21st, because that's when YouTube pays, things are going to be fine. So I've started to say, screw it, I'm going to do it the way I want, and then I'll just have to eat that until it starts getting past the 30 days or whatever. I'm hoping that's not going to screw me over. Hold on, let me get this real quick. Where is it? Okay, look, why are you so needy? No, look, go do something else. Or why don't you jump on the chair behind me so people will give you money? No, go do something else. Go. Okay, fine. Fine, I'll pet you. I love you, baby. I hate it when we fight. There you go. If you click that, you can get a loot crate. And not only that, if you use Unbox15, UNBOXFUN15, you'll get an additional 15% off just for you. The torture one is Chains of Command Part 2. What are you about to do? Why are you looking at me like that? Just chill. We all cool. All right. Honestly, how bad was the Xindi arc? Also, what do you plan to do with your degree? Xindi arc was Xindi arc was actually really good. I like the Xindi arc. A lot of people don't. I do. What do I plan to do with my degree? So my degree really... can we move back to Star Trek? Wolfmaster, cut that out, or you're going to get... Yeah, you're going to get banned for 300 seconds. And no, we talk about whatever comes up on here. If you want to talk about Star Trek, then try to change the topic to something Star Trek. I mean, I will get back on it. But thanks for joining, Queen Nidus, a hero. What I plan to do with my degree. My degree is already paid for itself. You guys are actually seeing a lot better product because of that. When I graduate, it depends on how YouTube is... It depends on how YouTube is going and what is occurring in that respect. If YouTube is going really well and really strong, I may continue on YouTube. I may start doing more ads for other companies. I've been debating whether I kind of want to try to turn the channel a little bit into, because I was talking about doing this and then I just stopped because people didn't seem to enjoy it, but kind of going a nostalgia critic route, and doing my own thing with that, because I would absolutely love to do like more live content, like, you know, skits and stuff for you guys. It's just, there's no way I can make it. Pumpkin is the cat's name. There's no way I can make it stick. It's just not something people enjoy. What's up, Captain Trek? So, I don't know. It's already paid for itself, though. The cat's name is Pumpkin. The reason why the cat's name is Pumpkin is because it was named by my daughter. Guess what color it is? What color he is? You know, Pumpkin always freaks me out, though. When I pet him, because he loves being pet and stuff, but he like stretches, and when he stretches, his claws come out. That's always a fun-filled experience. Cringes at the mention of nostalgia critic. Well, I mean, you know, some people don't like nostalgia. What's up, Maisie? Hope you're doing well. I'm not even... even if you don't like them because of like hashtag change the channel or they're horrible people, that's fine. But I think they make... I think their skits and stuff are entertaining, and I would just love to do something like that. I wouldn't copy them, but I would love to do something similar to that. You guys have seen... He's the guy that jumps... Okay, you know why I have this chair? This chair is 4 years old. I hate this chair. This chair is like the epitome of like just everything that is bad in the world. The reason why I have this chair is so that he can sit on the back of it. I haven't found a chair like this where he can sit on the back of. I got a new chair. He couldn't sit on the back of it. He looked sad. So this is why I have the chair. And you guys have seen him. He jumps up and I've talked back here before. I mean, if you don't like Nostalgia Critic, then just choose another one. I would say Angry Joe, but skits similar to what Angry Joe does, but not specifically his shtick. What the heck is the name of that YouTuber that does that thing? What is the... Oh, man. Star Wars. Let's do Star Wars game review. That's not going to give me anything, though. I'll bet you money it's not. There's another YouTuber, but I can't think of his name right now. Who does skits. I mean, there's thousands of them do skits. I'd just like to do more live action stuff. Someone's going to send you a new chair now. They need to. You should have named the cat Spot. I should have. I don't get to name the cats. The cats aren't mine. They belong to the girls. The girls got to... So one's name is Pumpkin. The other one that you guys never see because he hates adults, loves kids, but hates adults, is Mickey. Originally, the cat's name was Minnie, but my ex didn't like that because it was a he. I didn't care. The cat's not going to know. Who cares? But so they changed it to Mickey. Mickey will kill you if you hurt the kids. Mickey will go out of his way to ensure that you have a slow and painful death if you hurt the kids. He lays with the kids. He sits next to the kids. He's with them if they don't feel well or they're crying. He lets... And my youngest will like pick him up and throw him in the air and do flips with him and make him dab and do all kinds of things. And he puts up with it because for some reason he loves the kids. But God forbid if I try to pet him. That is too far. Regardless of what you do for revenue on YouTube, always remember the first rule of acquisition. Always remember the first rule of acquisition. I feel like I should know that, but I'm tired. What is the first rule of acquisition? Never spend more for an acquisition that you have to. That's right. That is true. I talked about that today. Named my cat Jasmine. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, he doesn't like dabbing. He's not a fan of it. He doesn't like dabbing like at all. However, he puts up with everything that she does. And what happens, she'll be playing on the computer and he jumps up right behind her and just sits down. He is so tolerant, but again, does not like adults. Does not want anything to do with them. Doesn't deal with them in the slightest. All right, guys, I think we're going to end it there. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. Hopefully a video is going to be up tomorrow. It depends on if CBS gets stupid or not. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Guys, I'm going to see you on the next Lore Reloaded.